thread the tree.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to give you a little in-cab experience. So I'm helping my buddy Rick. You may remember Rick. He's the tree guy that has been doing all of the forestry mulching stuff that's been on my channel. Today he was a guy short, so I'm going to help him out on this job. Just a quick overview of what we're doing. This area right in here is all a little high, and so we're going to take this material in this area and back up over there is the pond. That whole area that's got grass in it right now is basically peat. So Rick came in here last year, and let's walk over here so you can see it a little clearer. By the way, we're filming on the GoPro for the first time, so let's see how the audio is. So I apologize if the audio isn't the best. So this area here with the grass has got 6 French drains in it that all run to the lake back there. So he's managed to kind of firm this up to where you can actually walk on it now. It was actually to the point where you couldn't even walk on it, you'd just sink down in it. So he's got the 6 drains in there. What we're gonna do today, we're gonna roll fabric out over this whole area, and then we're gonna take this nice sandy material, move it all out over there. And so essentially what he's doing is we're creating a floating yard. They don't want to bring trucks back here or anything. They basically just want to be able to run their riding lawnmower around without sinking into the peat. So we're just creating enough of a yard that he's not going to sink down. So that being said, I'm going to go set up a time-lapse camera of the whole project. We'll get some in-cab footage of the project, some outside footage of the whole project. So hopefully we'll have a decent amount of footage for you today. So catch you in a minute. So basically what I'm doing is we've got this huge area out in front of us that we're trying to take down about 16 to 18 inches. My thought was it's probably going to be a little faster to use the dozer blade for most of it, and then when we start getting to a spot where the machine's struggling, I can turn around and use the arm. It would have been nice to have a dozer on this job, but with the next job Rick's got lined out, he was already going to rent this machine. He already had it on hand, so that's why we're using this. And it's not that big of an area, so I think we'll do all right with the dozer blade on this. And then the arm will allow us to shape along the ditch lines where I've got a slope, stuff like that. We do have a skid coming out later that we'll also use to kind of hog this material out into the low area out there. Trying to do at this point is just kind of rough in the material. So a real quick tip for those of you who are new to the industry, haven't ran an excavator before. Excavators have 2 speeds when it comes to tracking, rabbit and turtle mode. On your mini excavators or mid-size excavators like this one, you always want to push in turtle mode. You don't want to put a bunch of strain on your drive system by pushing a bunch of material when it's geared for going faster. It's not going to have the torque that it does in low speed. So always make sure when you're using your dozer blade that you are in turtle mode, not rabbit mode. So if you've never ran one of these mid-sized excavators, this is a Case CX80. These are really, really capable machines. It's a really interesting niche that they've carved out for themselves, just because it's bigger than a regular mini. So it's a lot more capable. You can set septic tanks with these hose. You can do all sorts of things that a normal mini excavator isn't able to do. Yet from a hauling standpoint, you can haul one of these machines on the same trailer that you would haul a backhoe on. So you can fit one of these behind, you know, a 2500 class pickup. And believe it or not, these mid-size hose will dig a basement in a reasonable amount of time. This one's got a 36-inch bucket on it. Sorry, bouncing. This machine's got a 36-inch bucket on it, and this will dig a basement in a day. You know, it's not going to be as quick, obviously, as like a 315, 316 class machine, but these are really capable machines. All right, so you can kind of see what we've got going on now. So I've cut this whole area in the middle down about 18 inches, 20 inches, somewhere in there. And so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get back in the hoe and we're gonna shape this ditch line over into the middle so I can push it up here. And then we're gonna shape that slope over there down into this area. And then all of that material will get pushed into the pile. And then when Rick gets back with the fabric, we will roll the fabric out over this area, and then I'll just push all this material, blow it in, and then we're gonna blend this whole area and backblade it all so that everything is nice and smooth and flat, and they can seed it and actually mow their yard. So let's get back in the hoe and get to it. Alright, so Rick just got back. We've got the fabric down. He went to take off to go pick up the skid steer. So I'm going to start throwing some dirt on here just to hold our fabric down, and then I'll just start hogging and pushing across the yard, and we'll start shaping everything. So we did layer our fabric. You always want to layer your fabric so when you push out, you aren't rolling the fabric up. So what you'll see, I'm going to just cover this edge right here. That way it's not going to roll up as I start pushing dirt across it. And then we've layered going that way. The fabric is over top. So as I roll the dirt out, instead of the fabric rolling up, the fabric is actually underneath the layer before it. So the dirt's just going to flow across the top. So that's what you want to pay attention to when you're throwing fabric down. The way you layer it is going to depend on which direction your dirt's going to go. Because if we layered it, instead of it being this way, had we layered it this way, as the dirt comes across, it's going to shoot under the edge and it's going to roll that fabric back, and then you're going to chase your fabric. It's a giant pain in the ass. Versus if you layer it the right way, once I just kind of get this to where it's not going to move, I can just start pushing material and I don't have to worry about it. and the wind just blew the fabric. I'll be right back. All right. So what we're shooting for is roughly the height of the drive over here to the right. Spin over so you can see it. So we're going to raise this whole area roughly a foot, maybe a little less. And the whole idea is with the fabric dispersing the weight of whatever's on top, the guy can get in here with his riding mower, you know, maybe a pickup truck down the road once the drains kind of dry this area out. And he's got at least a half usable yard, whereas before Rick came out here and started this project, like I said earlier, this was just a peat bog. And when you step up here around the pond, I actually did it while we were throwing the fabric down, you sink with just your body weight, you sink about 10 inches into that muck. And that's the way this whole yard area used to be before he put in the drains. So once we get this fabric down, once we raise it up about 1.5 feet, we should have a decently usable yard. To kind of tell you what I'm thinking, this whole side of the yard, right about the edge of the fabric over here, let me spin so you can see, right along the edge of the fabric is the property line. So this whole yard needs to slope down because we're eventually going to blend it in right there. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to keep the majority of the material out here. I'm going to leave it a little high. That way, whether we use this or the skid steer, we can come in from that side over there, make passes going across, and we can kind of blend the yard down. That way I know exactly where I'm at from a material thickness standpoint. I don't accidentally rip some fabric up because we're getting too thin out in the middle. So that's the whole idea here. I don't want to get all this material 1.5 feet high over to the edge and then somehow have to blend that back. It would be easier to keep it up here and then push it off the edge and slowly blend that edge. That's also going to keep the machine off of the wet stuff where the material's starting to get thin out on the edge. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. All right, so I was going to show you guys real quick. I keep talking about this boggy ground. So this is right up against the pond. This is significantly firmer than it was when, well, before he put those drains in. But you can see when I jump, the ground about 6 feet around me is shaking and I'm slowly sinking. That's the way this whole area was before you put the drains in. Now you can see I'm able to cat that machine out here with no problems whatsoever. So huge difference what we're doing. So I'm gonna throw you guys in the machine. I know that I say so a lot in my videos. I'm shocked no one's called me on that. It is what it is. I'm gonna throw the camera in the machine, but I was gonna show you real quick. The overflow for that pond is a little 4-inch PVC that the new homeowners, when they bought this place, just happened to find in the yard. They just happened to find it, whatever the word is there. Anyways, that's the drain. So what we're gonna do is we're going to dig down here. We're gonna install that pipe right there as a catch basin. Right next to it, you can see it's got a grate for the top of the catch. So we're going to put that sucker right there. So I'm going to throw you guys in the machine and we'll dig that out real quick. Alright, so Rick is officially here with the skid steer. So I am working on peeling up another layer of material back here because I totally forgot that we were supposed to fill about 4 foot on the right side of the driveway over here. So he just reminded me of that. So I'm back here generating dirt while he hauls it over there and shapes it. Sorry, can't talk. Well, thanks for watching, guys. You're gonna notice the outfit's different, yes. The weather's different, yes. And I'm not even on the job site. Well, the simple answer is I ran out of batteries in all my cameras while I was out there filming because I grabbed so much footage. So I didn't have the ability to make an outro. So here we are walking around my yard to tidy up this video. So what I will say is stay tuned. Day 2 is gonna post probably within the next week. We actually went and topsoiled the whole job, seeded it, and then I got some drone shots of the finished product. So absolutely stay tuned for that. And let me know what you guys thought of this video. I don't really get the opportunity to do many vlog style videos just because I'm not a full-time operator, but I had a lot of fun doing this. And if you guys enjoyed it, I will absolutely document the next day that I go and fill in with one of my buddies. So drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. As always, hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate the support, guys. The channel's growing like crazy. I'm thrilled, super excited about it. So I really appreciate that. You guys have a good day and we'll catch you on the next video.